Africa is on a rise to success through entertainment, and as we see now, it is the bedrock in the hearts of lives. Greatness and creativity is born each day, and we celebrate each and every one of them. This is African Express with KB.
What's up, Kubolor?
What's up? You haven't told me your name, please.
I'm Kelvin.
Kelvin,
KB,
you have
yeah.
told me your name.
Yeah,
You have.
Is it Kevin or Kelvin?
Kelvin.
So Kelvin, like the temperature measurements.
Yeah.
Was that Kelvin's?
Yeah, Kelvin. Kelvin.
But the temperature, is it Kelvin's?
Kelvin. No, just Kelvin.
Ah,
Yeah.
it was Kelvin's.
What's up? What have you been up to? Looks like we've not been seeing much of you.
You say I look like I haven't been sleeping.
We haven't been seeing
I know.
much of you.
I was trying to push that in.
Yeah.
No, there's much of me everywhere, but maybe you haven't been going anywhere.
But we have been following you on social media. And
Yeah, I mean, I've been shooting a film. I was shooting in Cape Coast the past week,
okay.
and now I'm about to go on tour. And so in between, like before I went to shoot, I've just been recording Deborah's album,
Oh, okay.
EP,
Okay.
and also her singles, and also working with other artists. You know, some artists came from outside, and some artists too from here. I've been working with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I've been wondering, with all these controversies and brouhaha around you and your lifestyle, how have you grown as a man?
I've grown as a woman. No, I don't feel. I mean, I don't think there's any controversies going on right now. I mean, maybe I'm talking of
Yeah, the previous stuff.
things in the past. Yeah,
Talking from the time you started this show business music, there are a lot of controversies, and how have you gone through that as an artist and as a man?
maybe I'm a bit more calculated at the kind of discourse I want to be out there about me.
Okay.
But still, if it's something in the moment and I'm heated up, I'll dirty myself, you
Sure.
know. So it's not everything that I can think about and react to in a certain calculated way, because I'm a passionate person.
Okay.
I think I've always been the same, really, other than that sometimes I think a bit more about my actions. But I see that it has shaped a lot of other people to
Okay.
understand that controversy, not for controversy's sake, but there's also a lot of people who do controversy for controversy's sake,
Yeah.
for buzz,
Sure.
because payola is expensive
Exactly.
and controversy is cheap.
Okay. So let's jump to the main thing. We want to talk about your album. Let's go back to when you were putting this album together. Why you called it the Red Card album?
Wow. I think I thought about Red Card just during the time I was working on Green Card, which is
Okay.
my first album.
Okay.
I didn't know the concept, but I knew I was going to make an album called Red Card.
Card.
When I did Green Card, I said, oh, it would be nice if I also do Yellow Card, Brown Card, Blue Card, Red Card, White Card, Black Card.
All
Some of
that.
those ones you've heard, all of them are going to be albums.
Sure.
Only half have come out,
Okay.
half are yet to come out. So I had idea for Red Card. It was recently, maybe during Muhammad's time, that I think it came, like the concept of a collective death of our society came to my mind, thinking that we all have to die in some form to be reborn, whether physically, spiritually, mentally. We needed to relearn or unlearn the ways of our history and our behaviors, everything.
Okay.
And that's the concept of Red Card, is also being fed up with the system,
Okay.
wanting death on people who are killing us every day.
Okay.
We don't see it because we don't see it as a direct affront, but ministers, the government, civil servants that are chopping the country's taxes are waging war on us.
Right.
In a way, because they are chopping the money, they are not collecting taxes, because they are not putting our money to good use. We have no ambulances. People are dying on the way to the hospital in taxis, which cannot give first aid. People are dying in the hospital because of lack of
Infrastructure.
infrastructure, lack of like the goods or the commodities or stuff needed there to heal people. We are dying because of rough roads, lack of light. There's many things killing us. So in a way we are at war, or the government is at war with the citizens and killing them every day through their corrupt behavior.
Okay.
And so red card is just a response to that. I also want to see them dying, so that
Literal death. If you say you want to see them
yeah,
die.
literal. Some people I want them to just be dead. There's some people that need to be, maybe they are useful somehow so they can be reborn, introduced. But yeah, because that's just the sentiment of red card. So the red card is just about death.
Okay.
And it started coming together during Muhammad's time. So I was thinking that during Akufo-Addo's time, I won't need to release this album anymore, or it won't have any more punch or impact.
On it.
But then this government also came and gave me more vim
To release it.
to add more material to release this album. So it's very relevant.
Okay. So looking at the other color album titles, you gave us a deeper and powerful image and message for the album. And what people don't really realize is that you always give us a cultural defined political voice with Mensa, who you work with. And you are not scared of what to say, you don't even care who you piss off. What energy do you get to say the things you say?
I don't think I'm brave. I don't think it's my braveness that is making me say these things. It's my fear of the corruption killing us all, which is making me say these things. It's the fear of some of my friends dying because of stupidity of our leaders. That's what makes me say these things. So it's not bravery, but it's the fear to die for a foolish reason, or die because of some stupid, mistake. Like right now, if you get some kind of, knock on wood, but if you get some kind of attack right now, the only thing we can get for you is a taxi, if there's not a private car around to take you. And the most important time for somebody in some kind of emergency is the journey to the hospital. That's where you make a big difference in their life, whether you stabilize them, save them, whatever happens there. First aid administration.
Okay.
So we have about less than 60 ambulances in a country of almost 30 million.
30 million.
And now there's about 300 ambulances sitting at the parliament, which have been there for months. They are rusting because they don't know how to share them, or they don't feel like sharing it now. And one of the ministers came out to say, oh, but people were still dying anyway before the ambulances came, so why can't you wait small? And then right after the parliament, they are building a cathedral on 5 blocks of land. So it's very stupid to me, and that stupidity is killing us.
Sure. Well, that's serious. Let's talk about awards and Kubolor. We find a lot of people commenting about the fact that you don't get nominations out of Ghana, even Africa at large. We've seen you guys do a lot. You guys were one of the first African artists to be featured on BBC shows and all. Why do you think you are underrated in Ghana?
We are not underrated. I think we are above rating. That's what happens. And so a lot of people are afraid to associate with us because then they'll have to do real work.
Okay.
And the more we are allowed to be established as Ghanaian mainstream or main artists, the harder it will be for other artists to just do any shabby work and put it out.
Yeah.
We've won awards outside the country. Sure. In Africa and Ghana as well. Most of the time you have to submit your own work for nomination. We don't really have time for that. Maybe it's our fault in that sense, but we also know that awards are bought, paid for. It's who you know, friends and stuff. So we can't value these things.
Okay.
It's like when George Bush won the Pulitzer Nobel Peace Prize, or they gave one of them, I think Obama or Bush, when they gave them the Nobel Peace Prize, some people who had received the prize felt like the prize had now been tainted, and so they returned it. So if you win some kind of award, best musician of the year or whatever, best this, and you realize somebody else in a different category, or even your category was better than you,
How does it feel like?
yeah, what are you holding that award for? So we are not dealing with mediocrity.
Okay.
And so that's why it feels like, but the youth are listening to us.
True.
And people know what we are doing. A lot of them are just afraid to acknowledge or to share it.
But do you think Ghanaian or Ghana at large don't listen to you for the right reasons?
No, I feel everybody who listens to us gives us the time and their mind to listen.
Okay.
They become instant fans. The only place where we may lose some fans are people who don't have the capacity to reason through our when we address certain things in society like politics, religion, corruption. There's people who are associated with these bodies and are not comfortable when they hear us addressing these things. That's just normal hypocrisy, which is preventing them from getting deeper into our work. But everybody who listens to us with an open mind is a fan.
Okay.
So we don't feel like, we don't feel like there's any resistance on that front. Yeah.
So going back to your album, listening to Never Could Change and then Fucking Country, we know what's going on in the country and we know you address some of these issues at heart. Do you feel your music gets to that level you expect it to get, like inform or alert the political bodies?
I used to make music from that angle, but now I make this music as a therapy.
Okay.
So it's like me talking to my psychologist or my psychiatrist or whatever, or writing in my journal.
Okay.
And then I put it out there because the streams and stuff will bring me some revenue so that next time I can afford to talk about something else as my personal therapy. The symptom or the side product or bonus of that is that there's some people who also hear it and identify with it and act on it or not, or are inspired by it. So I've stopped making music with expectation of how people will react to it and how far the music will go, because I feel that can also turn into a sickness, a stress which I don't need in my life. I'm trying to just maneuver through life and with the least stress possible.
Okay. So what did you mean by ni copy and paste in your This Is Ghana cover of the Donald Glover song?
When Donald Glover did This Is America and then Haus followed with This Is Nigeria or This is Niger, everybody was asking me to do some.
Okay.
And so that's why I started a song saying that, like, I've been making so many songs talking about Ghana. So many songs talking about the corruption, the way everything. I've made maybe about 20 songs like that, like the Glover song.
Okay.
But no, like the mainstream never got onto it.
You never
But
got
as
it.
soon as somebody in America made it, it's like, oh, do some. So that's what I meant. And what we like is copy and paste.
Copy
We don't
and
want to be original.
Okay.
We feel somebody is original by the way they can copy someone else.
Okay.
It's very interesting. But it's because our schooling system, we were trained in copying and we were awarded, like they will award the best students for being able to memorize text and just rewriting it on the answer sheet.
Sure and Paul.
So just chew and pour. So the best chew and pourer is the best student. So it's the same way now that if you're an artist who copies someone well, an artist who copies someone well, you are awarded as, wow, very innovative, very creative. The word they use is creative. Like when I make my own songs, which are not linked to anything, I hardly see the word creative. But when I do like the wrap-ups, I have these wrap-ups I do every year, and I use other people's beats, and I rap almost the same way they did, but just change the words. People are like, oh, you're so creative.
But don't you think people rather attribute that to trends? People think, okay, it's a trend, let's do this. That is why people are doing
How
that.
can a trend, how can you be called creative when you are doing something which is already there?
Already
A
there.
trend is something that is there. If they say nowadays, the trend that has come is you have to wear yellow shoe. And you go and wear yellow shoe, are you creative? You are following a trend. So there's nothing creative about
True.
following a trend.
Okay, so moving still on the album, listening to PPP on the album, I listened to the song and I was wild, and I asked myself, what if you are banned from Ghana music? Because you sent out a lot of cases on that song, and the song actually talks about the fact that officials, especially the politicians, are cheating us. Don't you think about the consequences of your songs, and what was the actual message of the in the PPP song?
I mean, you have to read the lyrics. It's a curse. It's a curse on politicians, the police, and the pastors. I've cursed all of them. And even for the video, I plan to actually physically go to a real shrine and curse them on official level. And that's
Like,
what
yes,
I'll
you're
film.
right now.
Yeah, I'm serious. And that's what I'm going to use as the video for the song. We are not afraid of Jesus, Allah. We are not afraid of those alien foreign gods that we claim and pretend to worship and believe in and obey. We are more afraid of our traditional religions because that is our real religion. And so people react more to traditional curses. And so I felt that was the best way to go. As for being afraid, our Ghanaians, we inherited the passive aggressiveness of our colonial idiots and the British. We didn't fight for independence. Nobody died for independence like in the French Francophone countries like Haiti and the rest. Here, when the Queen of England was satisfied with setting up all the court systems and everything, then she just handed the country over to Kwame Nkrumah. He didn't fight for it. So Kwame Nkrumah in the beginning was just a regular puppet president. It was later that he realized the importance of becoming Afro-centered and started introducing African studies in the University of Ghana. I didn't have such a department. Started promoting the culture, started traveling with African drummers and dancers everywhere he was going, and started making things more about Africa, which was not the plan of the British or the West, the Americans. So that's a reason why they also did what? Killed him or took him out, because he started refocusing on us becoming proud of ourselves as Africans. And he was regulating the churches. The churches played a big role in killing Kwame Nkrumah or exiling him, because he was not a fan of the alien religions such as Islam and Christianity, because he could see that it changes us from our true source and from our true communal feeling. And so, yeah, that's really...
But you talk with so much confidence, like you have some sort of fact somewhere we don't know about, hidden somewhere, because all this you are saying sounds very new to me. Not in the context of the fact that he was killed, but in the context of the fact that he was a puppet, and then the Queen introduced courts and all that to sort of like colonize our minds.
That's what colonization is, and Kwame Nkrumah has written about it. So I'm talking to you from his books.
His books, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They set up all over the world. Even America is a British colony.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So don't you think there's a much better way to go about sensitizing or like alerting these government officials rather than going to the shrine?
Maybe there is, so somebody else who can go for that. This is the one I've chosen.
Okay. If any of your children wish to be part of, let's say, Ghanaian government or be a politician in Ghana, would you ever discourage any of them?
I don't discourage anybody from what they want to do. I have cousins who are in the government. I have friends.
Okay.
I've never told my friend to stop being corrupt. That's up to him. He knows what he's doing.
So in an interview with Mr. Esse, he mentioned the fact that he came to you to shoot a video because he saw a video you shot for Senna Dagadu. But in turn, you rather advised him on copyright laws, licensing, and then publishing in music. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think
Yeah.
it happened in that order, or that it wasn't that close together. When Mr. Esse started his career in Ghana, he had a song called PP Dance.
Keep it down.
And
Okay.
he wanted me to shoot a video. I don't remember why. Maybe as just revealing to me now, because maybe you saw the video I did for Senna. I shot that together with King Lou. It's a song called Extra Large,
Okay.
featuring Mensa. And yeah, but timing wise, we couldn't get together, and so somebody else shot that for him.
Okay.
But as for the publishing and all that, it was when his song started taking off, Skin Tight and a couple songs. Yeah, then I just sat with him and asked him about his affairs, because I could see that he was about to pick up quickly.
Okay.
And that's where most of your money comes from as a musician. Your
Okay.
royalties, your publishing. You get the biggest money from your publishing. I mean, one of the deals he got was with Puff Daddy. I don't know if you remember. They were playing Skin Tight during using it to advertise one of Puff Daddy's vodkas or whatever.
Oh wow.
And that's big
That's
money.
big.
Right?
Yeah.
So
That's big.
it's good that he had all those things in order before Puff Daddy contacted him, because if you don't have your publishing in order, these companies will not contact you because they can't deal with you as an individual.
Okay.
You need to set up your business.
So with regards to copyright laws, licensing, and then publishing, like you're saying, do you think Ghana is in a better state with regards to that?
I have no idea what Ghana is, where Ghana is, because I'm not really interested in
Because
that.
you're a musician in Ghana, do you think these copyright laws
They matter,
apply?
but I don't think they've gotten anywhere. If they had, you would see them show up on your royalty statement, no matter what international body you are signed with. I'm signed with PRS. I'm thinking of even moving to SASEM.
Okay.
But signed with PRS, if my song is played once on any radio station in Ghana, if Ghana has really done the work needed so far as copyright and royalty is concerned, PRS will be able to collect. And I'll see in my statement that this amount of money
Was
came
collected.
from Ghana.
Okay.
But nothing has showed up there yet, so it means Ghana has not done anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somewhere last year, you shot a video for True Friends, one of the songs you dropped from your EP last year.
From the Fucking Boys EP.
Fucking boy, yeah. And then it was in dedication to the LGBTQIA community.
Yeah, in solidarity.
Exactly. And I've seen several utterances from you where you seem to support the whole movement. Do you think Ghana is in a better position to sort of like legalize or endorse LGBT in the country?
Ghana has been in this position since independence, because we said we're breaking away from the British monarchy, which was what introduced these anti-sexual laws.
Okay.
If you go and check the laws, you see that not only is sodomy, or let's say homosexual intercourse, a crime, but also heterosexual sodomy, they call it sodomy, having anal sex with a woman, also a blowjob. So a blowjob from a woman and being gay, having gay sex, is the same criminal offense in Ghana by that old British law up to now. So if we were independent, we should have scrapped those laws. Those laws were created because there was no such homophobia before those people came. They brought it from their land over here. We didn't have. If we thought doing those things were bad, they wouldn't have even have to create a laws for it, because we would have had our own laws against those things, against that lifestyle of people. So yes, we have been since, but religion keeps us in the dark, keeps us stupid, and so that's why we still haven't freed, and the leaders of the country are afraid of the pastors, like religion. So that's why they haven't legalized it, because internationally they get pressure to legalize it, because the West has learned from their mistakes and are trying to now tell us that we are abusing human rights. But it's going to change, because a lot of the youths growing up now are watching cartoons, films, listening to artists, that are either androgynous, ambivalent, pansexual, different kind of sexual orientation, artists that are so different. And so a lot of the youth are growing up seeing that these are just people like me. So by the time they get into power, into certain positions in the government, they will be the ones to change these things. But it needs to have happened long time ago, and it needs to even happen now.
But don't you think, since these people are Ghanaians and we were brought up in the Ghanaian system, don't you think they are sort of like programmed to still go by the old laws? Because someone will still be there to go against these things.
No. If you say that, I mean, first of all, there's no such thing as Ghanaians. It's a concept. Until we started watching Baywatch or other kind of Friends, these kind of TV programs,
TV shows, yeah.
you wouldn't see girls wearing mini skirts in Ghana, bikini and those things. Everybody was wearing long dress and stuff according to the colonial dressing. Because if you go to the traditional side where we have the krobo, we have the Ashanti and all this, we're dressing also in this kind of small outfits, showing our thighs, buttocks, even wearing tongs in traditional way. But the British came to cover everything, like Roman Catholic sisters. So these TV shows made us show more skin and also accept certain things, you know. And so that same way, these new TV shows and new programs and stuff going on are also going to have, so they can't hold on to what you are talking about for long. Because already, when you look at the way the youths are dressing and hanging out, sometimes you see a guy, you can't tell whether they like girls or boys. Maybe they like girls 100% or not. But now people are becoming more androgynous, more ambivalent in the way they present them. And yeah.
Okay.
So change there is a constant thing. You can't be the same forever.
But do you think religion or Christianity, let me be specific on that, do you think religion or Christianity is a sham to black community? Yes,
because it's been repackaged in a harmful way.
Harmful?
Yes, it's very harmful. The main thing at the beginning of the Bible, it tells you to be afraid. And it tells you to obey without understanding, just to be subservient. So that makes you a certain kind of person who doesn't ask for a reason why to do a certain job or task. If your boss says do this, you don't understand why you're doing it. But religion has told you to just obey authority and just be afraid. Fear is the beginning of wisdom. It's one of the things written in there, that fear. So if you are afraid of your father and your father says, go and do this, and you ask daddy why, he says, go and do it because I said it. That's not love, and that's not a way to train your child to become a wise person, just to fear. So all those factors, there's so many things in the way the Bible has been repackaged, or the words in the Bible, or the messages in there. Because most of those words in there come from African areas. When you hear of the Dead Sea Scrolls and how the Council of Nicaea sat down and chose from these scrolls what will go into the Bible, what will not go into the Bible. It's just a repackaging. And so you see things like turn the other cheek in there. You see things like justification for slavery in there. But then when you find the other books that were meant to also be in there that were not allowed in the Bible, you see a part where Yahshua ben Yosef, or Jesus, or whatever they call him, saying that there comes a time to also fight somebody who is oppressing you. But they only leave turn the other cheek, so that you become a certain kind of person. It's designed to use to subdue groups of people. So religion, in many ways, is very dangerous because people are faulty, people are corruptible. So you can't have another human being just like you coming to tell you how to live your life, because they have their own motive in there. That's just
right.
A gist.
Okay, I think that's it for now. What's next for Kubolor? What's next for Wanlov?
I'm going on tour with fucking boys, FOKM boys. We are starting in Switzerland. We did a film with a group, with a film team from there called Recycle TV.
Okay.
A really dope film called Contradict, and it's being premiered on the 26th.
I think I've seen that with Akan and...
Yeah, so the whole concept was, they wanted to make a film about artists somewhere in the world who have different ways of creating their music, different approaches, and just document the process of them doing that. So we chose Akan, Mutombo the Poet, Adoma, Poetra,
Yeah. So
Mensa, Walasi,
yourself.
myself, I don't remember who else. And each of them was given a topic. Walasi was given Jesus, Mutombo the Poet was given Donald Trump, Adoma was given something to do on complexion, skin. I was given a topic on how Africa would have been, or this part of the world would have been, if it was not colonized.
Okay.
Mensa was given something about a Ghanaian in the diaspora trying to move back. So yeah, anyway, so this film is coming out, and we are touring with the film in Switzerland together with Adoma.
Okay.
And then we're going to write another film in Spain, Mensa and I.
Okay.
Fraudstars. And then just writing our new album, writing Cause of Money Part 3. I just finished the film that I'm editing now.
Okay.
People's videos. So just the
That's
year's
dope.
looking good.
That's big.
Busy. I am working on Blue Card. But Blue Card is a journey from the flesh to the soul.
Okay.
So it's a very sexual to spiritual album. It starts with the trumu and ends in the heart. So, and I'm going to, this album is going to be accompanied by a film, like an R-rated,
Film.
almost pornographic film. And I want to use that film to talk more about sexualities in our society.
No, that's big.
What's big?
The whole thing you just said.
I started thinking of somebody's buttocks in the film.
No. But then the Trumu, I see you promoting that.
Yeah,
Is that an acronym, or you literally mean the Trumu we all know in the Ghanaian dialect?
It's everything. I mean, Trumu is like Trumu. It's Trumu, but also I'm gonna like set up this record label called True Music.
Okay.
So it's also like a short for that. But Trumu is just Trumu. It's like, I mean, yeah, because it's because of the hypocrisy in our society where on the radio we can allow certain words in English, but you can't say them in a language that hits us more direct.
Sure.
And it's a body part. And so that's one thing I like about the guns and the fancies is like they say everything plain.
Just as it is, yeah.
Yeah, and I come from a two-faced. I come from the two-faced Ashanti people, which I like to say Sebe before they say something. But so Trumu is just, for me, it's just
a normal.
it just means I'm raw.
Okay.
Like it's just this is it. I'm not hiding
Refined.
anything. Yeah, Trumu. Yeah.
Okay, it was nice having you on this show.
Nice one. Kelvin.
Yeah, Kelvin. This is Fused Africa. It's not going to be just this one. We are going to have subsequent interviews with you.
Okay.
We're going to be following your tour, everything. So
Cool.
just keep us updated.
Shall do.
Sure.
Shall do.
Thank you very much for
Thank
this.
you too, Kelvin. All
it
the
was nice
best.
having you.